The joke started like it was nothing. A stupid, careless comment made in a room full of people who barely knew us. We were at a casual Saturday night get-together at a friend's house. One of those gatherings where people drink cheap wine, talk about old college stories, and pretend their lives are more perfect than they are. My wife, Jenna, had been in an unusually playful mood. She'd been loud all night, laughing harder than necessary, trying to entertain the room. I didn't mind. She liked attention, and usually I let her have it. But this time she crossed a line so deeply that the entire atmosphere changed in a single second. Someone in the room, I don't even remember who, joked about past relationships. It was harmless at first, everyone laughing about their awkward high school dates or embarrassing first kisses. Then someone asked Jenna, "What about you? Was your ex anything like your husband?" She smirked, swirled her drink, and without a moment's hesitation said loudly, "Well, let's just say my ex was bigger and better." The room erupted with laughter. Loud, chaotic, thoughtless laughter, while she grinned proudly like she just delivered the line of the night. My heart, however, didn't laugh. It dropped hard. Those words hit me like a punch I wasn't prepared for because she wasn't drunk. She wasn't joking. She was showing off. Everyone's eyes turned toward me. Some were curious, others awkward, and a few had that look. The one people get when they witness something they know is wrong, but can't help watching. Jenna leaned back on the couch, smiling, waiting for me to laugh along or blush or get embarrassed. She expected me to take it like a good sport, but something inside me shifted in that moment. A calmness I'd never felt before settled into my chest. It wasn't anger. Anger would have been easier. It wasn't shock that had already passed. It was clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. I put my drink down gently, slowly enough that the sound of glass on would cut through the laughter. People quieted down. They sensed something had changed. Jenna's smile faltered just a little, just enough for me to see the fear behind her eyes. I looked directly at her, not blinking, not smiling, not flinching. And I said in the calmest voice I've ever used in my life, "Well, that's funny because your ex actually called me last month. He asked me for advice on how to be a better man for the woman he's with now." The room went dead silent. Not awkward silent, frozen silent. Even the music playing in the background suddenly felt too loud. Jenna blinked fast, searching my face, trying to figure out if I was serious. She wasn't used to me talking like that. She wasn't used to me standing up for myself without raising my voice. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. Her confidence evaporated instantly, replaced with something she didn't show often. Panic, I continued, still calm, still steady. "He told me he regrets how he treated you. Said he wishes he had been more stable, more responsible, more loyal." He sounded like a man trying really, really hard to change. I shrugged lightly. So if he was bigger and better, it's strange. He came to me for direction. Someone in the back gasped, and just like that, every head turned from me back to her. The laughter from earlier hung in the air like a ghost. Jenna looked small now, not physically, but emotionally, like her pride had been stripped away in front of everyone. For the first time that night, she couldn't hide behind jokes or sarcasm. She tried to laugh it off. "Come on, babe. You're taking it too seriously. It was just a joke," but nobody else was laughing anymore. A couple across the room exchanged looks, clearly embarrassed for her. One guy coughed awkwardly. Another woman shook her head slightly. The crowd that had backed her before had now quietly stepped away from her side. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I didn't show anger. I simply said, "If you want a joke, joke. But if your jokes are about tearing me down just to look entertaining in front of people, then maybe the problem isn't me." The words were soft, not loud, not sharp, but they cut deeper than shouting ever could. The room felt tight, heavy. Jenna swallowed hard, her cheeks flushing as she looked around, realizing nobody was coming to save her. Someone muttered, "Damn," under their breath. Another said quietly, "He's right." Jenna's face turned pale. She tried to touch my arm, but I stepped back just an inch. Not enough to make a scene, but enough to let her know that something inside me had changed. It was a boundary, a new one, a line she didn't see until she crossed it. She whispered, "Can we talk outside?" But the party was already over. Not the event, but the illusion she'd been living in. The illusion that she could mock me publicly and still expect me to smile privately. The crowd pretended to get back to their conversations, but everyone's ears were still tuned to us. Her voice trembled. Mine didn't. Sure, I said, but remember, outside or inside, my dignity isn't optional. We stepped out onto the porch, the cold night air hitting her harder than it hit me. She immediately started apologizing fast, frantic, stumbling over her own words. I didn't mean it, I swear. I was just trying to be funny. I didn't think. I raised a hand gently, stopping her mid-sentence. That's the problem, I said. You didn't think about me, about how it looked, about how it felt. You thought about the spotlight, and tonight you lost more than you gained. She looked at me with wide, glassy eyes. Are you saying you're done with me? For a moment I didn't speak. I let the silence settle between us, heavy and real. Finally, I said, I'm saying I'm done being the joke in your act. Her breath caught, and she looked away, wiping tears before they fell. She had never expected consequences. She had never expected me to defend myself with calm instead of anger. She reached for my hand again, this time slower, more careful, like she was afraid I'd pull away. Please don't leave, she whispered. I'm sorry. I really am. I crossed the line. Her voice was small now, stripped of ego, stripped of the bravado she'd worn minutes before. For the first time all night, she looked like she understood exactly how deep her words had cut. I let her hold my hand, but I didn't squeeze back. I'll go home with you, I said. But things aren't going back to normal with an apology. Respect isn't something you get to break whenever it entertains you. She nodded slowly, tears slipping down her cheeks now, her earlier confidence nowhere in sight. And honestly, for the first time in years, I felt heard. As we walked to the car, the party behind us had gone quiet, like everyone knew they had witnessed a turning point. And they had, because that night wasn't about a joke. It was about dignity, about how one careless sentence can shatter trust, and how a calm truth delivered at the right moment can silence a room, expose a person's intentions, and change a relationship forever.